Hey guys, it's your M.K.S here, back in another video. This is obviously part 3 of things I would love August to stand for. I'd love August to be the international month for these things I talked about somehow. Anyway, hope you checked out parts 1 and 2, and if not, I hope you'll check them out and I hope you enjoyed them, or would enjoy them if you're checking them out. And after this video, probably going to take the dog for a walk. Running a tiny bit late, but anyway. Hope everyone's well wherever you are. The weather has changed a bit. I probably should take the dog out for a walk very quickly because I hope it's not going to rain. But anyway, there you go. So I'm probably going to get on with this video quite quick. So continuing on from my list, as I said in part 1 and 2, I'm just going to try and get on with it. So this might be quite a quick video, hopefully. But hope you'll enjoy it. And here goes. So number 21, I'd love to support groups that I'd love August to be like for groups which have been historically oppressed, like countries I talked about, which I call the four, or countries within what I call the four indigenous people which were colonized, and also like Ireland and places like that, which had the potato famine and were colonized by the British and that sort of thing, and perhaps to have a network for countries that were colonized, like Ireland and Asian nations, African nations, and all that sort of thing. Like I'd love to have a network which brings together the people, the indigenous people from the Americas, both North and South America, all of the countries within the Americas, like Argentina. And I have a controversial idea that like there's a dispute over the Falkland Islands, but I thought a potential solution could be to give the Falkland Islands to the indigenous people of Argentina specifically, like help them, allow them to somehow control the wealth of that where they were displaced, and that sort of thing. But yeah, like also like to support countries like South Africa, which went through apartheid, and also how banks, apparently like Barclays, were supporting the apartheid regime, and maybe today they could help to make up for some of those past wrongs by helping like giving stationery and equipment and training to countries like South Africa, and supporting their software developers and things like that, and also countries which they might have, other countries which they might have wronged in the past, and that sort of thing. Number 22, I'd love August to be like International Month of empowering disabled people, both physical, mental, and learning disabled people, including I'd say dyslexics, dyspraxics, and people with other neurodiverse conditions like my own, let's say like dyslexia and dyspraxia, and also other groups like autistics and people with ADHD, and as I say, people with similar or related conditions, that sort of thing. Number 23, I'd love August to be sympathy, empathy, charity, philanthropy, and that sort of thing month, International Month of Philanthropy, for instance, and things like that, as well as sympathy, empathy, and that sort of thing. And I talked a little bit before in my previous video about how I'd love there to be a charity like set up by Mark Zuckerberg or Facebook or whatnot. As in the past, Mark Zuckerberg did this thing where, when his first daughter was born, they did like something where they were supposedly giving a certain amount of their shares away to charities or things like that. And I know there's lots of negative views about Facebook, but I think it would be good if Facebook did some really positive stuff where, like, they set up a charity in his second daughter, in his second daughter's name, and I think her birthday is like a day before or a day after. I can't quite remember which one. I think it's a day before mine, because mine is the 29th. I think hers is either the 28th or the 30th. I know it's like nearly the same, if I'm not mistaken. I think, but yeah, not 100% sure. But I think it's like the 28th of August. So they called her August Zuckerberg, and I think it'd be great if like there was a charity set up called like maybe in her honor and her name, like August Zuckerberg. When she's older, like she could run the charity, and it could be started now, but in her honor. But when she's older, she could also be taught how to. It could be something in her, like, so when she's older, she could run it as well, and like be trained how to run it, so that they develop African software developers and things like that, and African tech generally, and that sort of thing. Which could go some way to helping Africa to become number one for tech. And I think that would be quite ironic because, as far as I'm aware, she's Eurasian like me, so her background is European and Asian. So I think it would be interesting if she would be like supporting Africa in the future. But yeah, I'd love to have lots of charitable goals like that. That's not the only one, but like loads of charitable goals. Probably too many for me to mention in this video. But like I often think of these 30-point lists where I talk about like 30 groups I like to support and 30 ways I like to support them and how, when, and where, and all that sort of stuff. All that sort of stuff. Sorry. 24 again, like countries that were colonized and lost their independence, like how to help them to make up for that time, like supporting those countries as they. A lot of my work is about, or work, if you can call it work, is about anti-imperialism, supporting countries that are colonized, and also democracies and things like that. And my birthday, which is, as I say, 29th of August, I love that to be like all these things I'm talking about now. I love that to be like the international day for all those things as well. Obviously, it's hard to do all those things in one day, but symbolically, it could be. Number 25, again, I'd love to be like August to be like Republic Month, international. Although I suppose countries with monarchies, monarchist countries probably wouldn't want to do the same thing, and also obviously people who support monarchies wouldn't want to do the same thing. But International Republic Day for like all those republics to network together. Obviously, people who support republics could, I'm sure, get on board with that. Number 26, I love it to be anti-imperialist month, international anti-imperialist month. Again, obviously, for people who are pro-imperialistic, they're probably not going to want to celebrate that month. Also, like obviously, patriotic people from the UK or US are probably not going to want to celebrate that month, but people who are anti-imperialists around the world hopefully want to celebrate it, that sort of event. I mean, or that sort of thing. 27, I love August to be International Month for saying thank you or rewarding those who have done good, and Godspeed, God will reward those who have done good himself. Anyone who had positive intentions, anyone who has good manners and things like that. Hopefully people will be rewarded every time they say please or thank you or things like that, and treat other people as they wish to be treated and that sort of thing. 28, again, I dream for August to be like a month where negative things are turned into positives somehow. Godspeed. 29, I'd love August, as I say, to be the month where all those groups I talk about will come together and support each other, and also where I work on projects, and hopefully people will support my projects more because it's my birth month, especially on my birthday itself. And also other groups I wish to support, like Eurasian nations, transcontinental countries generally, the Mid-East and Mediterranean nations, and again, countries that have been divided, like Ireland, like Morocco, Ireland, Argentina, India, China, Spain, and those sorts of countries. I'd love them to sort of have a network to make up for the fact they were colonized, and also to empower and support them as much as possible. Partly by helping them to network together, that would be one way to empower each other. And I hope that India and China can put aside their differences and work together. And it would be quite difficult in a way, because Morocco was actually divided by Spain, so it would be quite an irony if both nations were supported. But I'd love to support Morocco even more. And number 30, it could be like strange, a month for being strange, or allowing people to be strange or quirky or different. Yeah, I think that covers everything for now. I can't really think of anything else I'd like to cover. And as I said before, I hope to walk the dog full. Hopefully, I'll miss out on any rain showers. So anyway, I'm out. Peace and love. As ever, I'd love to know what you think. And I'm out.